Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat Brig player. Don't let the starting on Anna fool you here. I did take a quick skim through and we will mostly be looking at Brig. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. It's right down there. Right down there. That like button, that subscribe button. You can press it. I know you can. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Is that
1. Attackers incoming.
Enemy is
Stop the payload.
You have a jumping habit. You tried to weave it past her DM. Okay. You're doing every trick in the book to try to beat that DM. Okay, so here you are. Don't like the jumping. You see that you can't get that shot. No, you don't recognize that you can't get that shot before you go for the sleep. So you were just going to sleep that no matter what. I'm almost positive. Which is a problem, because this is into the DM, even though... Oh, no, you do get her. Excuse me, you get it just barely to the right there. Fine. And then you decide that that's how you're going to heal the Hanzo. I'm going to live with that. I'm going to live with that as a reasonable exception to the ways to use nades. Okay. Good. Works for me. Probably wouldn't have gone for that reload as aggressively. Would have been happy to see, is there more I can do over here? Do I want to heal my Sombra? Do I want to see things that I can do here? But this looks good. It's fine. You drop. Yeah, and you just don't have awareness of how much space or how much space did your team surrender? Yeah, so you're just late getting out here. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. So we look back at this, and I'm sure we had warning signs that we missed. Here we are. We obviously know that our monkey and our Hanzo went down. We see our Sombra teleports out, and this should be the quick sign to us of, wait a second, we're the most far forward on our team. It's probably time to get out of here. There's no longer a hold to be had here. The hold here in general is a pretty soft hold anyways. The real hold is for control of this. Now, holding high ground helps, don't get me wrong, but you can't be this far forward on high ground. You'd be much more interested in, hey, my team is going to hold high ground. I'm going to get myself back to here as an Anna, back to here as an Anna. Not even so much from blue box, like, this is what I want. In fact, I don't even get upset with players if they just go, we're not going to do this hold anyways. It's pretend, so let's just set up back here for blue box. But that's okay. Yeah.
I wasn't cut out for retirement anyways.
Unfortunately, with how that goes down, you guys are effectively going to give up first unless you stabilize this. You did not. So this was fixable. Like, you see this, you see your monkey, you immediately saw that there was a Kree there. You did not need to be re-peeking between shots like this. There could have been a nade right after your shot. That could have been shot, nade, shot, and look at all the value that you'd have gotten. You'd have potentially saved your monkey. You'd have increased the healing to your monkey, which means you could have healed him back up quicker. You'd have gotten one or both of these guys. I'm not sure why you were quite so skittish on peeking this. Like, you had the bubble down. There's the bubble. You don't need to peek this quite as skittishly as you are, like a scared kitten. Okay, yeah, I can't help but make the joke. Okay. No, you don't need to repeat. You're not going to win this. Why are you trying to force a weapon play battle? Okay. You're going to shift under the Kree. Hey, Semitic. You're going to have to self-nid. You're going to have to. Your Lucio's, you know, maybe he'll come get you. You think so? I don't. He's nowhere near you. If you knew, or, I mean, he's up here, but, like, he's not He's not already on his way back through here. Maybe he'll come back for you. No, it's time to nade yourself. He's clearly not paying attention to you. It is past time to
You're
nade
going
yourself.
to be okay.
Why are you angling into the open?
Go. I'll keep you
Like,
here.
we didn't use our time to get to high ground, and we can criticize that. There was time. There wasn't a ton of time, but you could have potentially considered, hey, I'm going to go up here, go through here. You'd have been a touch late. Oh, and this McCree's never been cleared. That's going to be a problem. Okay.
Now to accelerate.
Did you hear him? Sounds like you did. Sounds like you remember he's there or you heard him. He might be communicating with his team. He might be saying, it's not so much that he's, I mean, he might be waiting for Sombra to translocate, but he might be waiting for his team to tell him that Sombra's in so that he can just destroy the translocator and they can get her. It can go either way. Okay. Why? You know you don't have sleep. Like, you've got full health, so it's not the end of the world. But, eh.
Fire at will. This will only hurt for a minute.
Easy win. Why are we rotating through open? We were totally fine in server. We had all the safety in the world in server. Healer Hanzo, healer Sombra, shoot them from here. If we needed to, we rotate back out here. Why are we walking across open? And why are you staying in open? You know that Hanzo's there. Like, I'm getting into your micro movement. I don't like that hop. I don't like that hop either. I don't mind you doubling back for just a second here, or even you just standing still, not a second. Doubling back for an instant here, or even standing still for an instant here to throw off Hanzo's aim. If you're really good, you'd recognize that, hey, Hanzo hasn't drawn his bow yet, so this isn't an appropriate time to change my movement. This is an appropriate time to keep... Oh, I don't have my epic pen up. To keep going to the right, you'd recognize, hey, Hanzo's bow isn't drawn, I want to keep going to the right. If his bow was drawn, you might decide that this is a moment to stop for a moment. Because movement isn't, contrary to what, some people seem to think, good dodge movement isn't just AD, AD, AD. It is good that you go, hey, I'm going like this, and then I'm going to double back and then go this way. Like, that would generally be good, except that you're close to this, just close this angle. Like, it's fine if you want to go, hey, I stop for a moment and then keep going, or even I step back for a left for just an instant and then keep going right when you think you're throwing off the actual shot. But this is a lot of time that you actually invest that delays you getting behind. See, you did it again. And now you're staying here. You're doing this double back thing in spot, and now he's actually ready to aim at you. And you could have been fully behind cover by now. Nice, Nard. That's awesome. I hope so. Maybe he'll come to the channel and be subscriber 1400.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Great. I mean, you're at 1 HP. Like, that you don't self-nade this faster in general is pretty questionable. Like, you really hold on to that nade for offensive uses, and I appreciate that, or for other uses anyways, but self-healing is pretty high tier, unfortunately. Okay, so you're on Brig, and Brig is a good swap. I remember you complaining that, hey, the team said Brig is doing nothing for us, we're not getting enough heals, etc. The reason your team is complaining that they're not getting enough heals is because you guys are now on Lucio Brig when your team is not named Third Impact. This is really, really hard to play with this is a really hard comp to play with. Yes, Goats used this plus a third support, be that Zen, Moira, or Anna, mostly Zen by the end of it, but this is hard to work with. The aura healing between the two of them, well, it adds up. Well, it's nice for stabilized phases. Well, it can help a little in the poke phase, the stabilized phase, that you don't have a nice big direct source of healing like Anna shots, like Moira just going, let me spray all over the place, like Bap throwing nades out there, even like a Mercy Beam. This is tough. This is tough, and I understand why the team was upset. I would not recommend that you swap into Brig in this situation personally, because I'm actually looking at this comp and I'm going, hey, they have a monkey. Is the monkey doing some work? Yeah, the monkey is doing some work. And then they also have a diva. Brig isn't really doing a particularly good job of shutting down these two, and then doesn't really interact with the supports. So I'm looking at this and going, maybe if they had a third diver, maybe, but even then I wouldn't, because your partner is a Lucio. There's something called main supports and flex supports, and main supports are generally the ones who peel harder, and you guys are running this double main support where you both do this nice peel thing, but it doesn't work. There's not enough healing value, nor is there enough utility value. You're not bringing a Discord Orb. You're not bringing the offensive nade. You're not bringing lamp plus damage. You're not bringing a stupid amount of healing, even like Moira would have. Like, I get it, and healing is not everything. Trust me, healing is not everything. If you were on Zen right now, I would be like, yep, that's perfectly fine, no complaints from me. So healing is not everything, but you're not bringing enough with this combination. You're doubled up on peel. You're both playing we're protecting ourselves and each other, and we don't care about the rest of our team. Like, we can peel, we are not annoyed by their Winston. Not being annoyed by their Winston just is not enough justification to run this pair of supports. So I'm going to walk you through the rest of this game, and, we're going to upgrade your Brig, because that's what we do here. But you do not generally want to swap into this composition. The Anna Lucio that you had before was better. It was. Even if it was hard, even if the monkey was bothering you a little, the monkey was not bothering you enough to justify you being on Brig. And if you really wanted a Brig, what you do is you tell your partner support to go on Brig. Or you say, hey, partner support, I'm not getting enough help. Can you go Brig for me? Or can I go Brig and you go Flex? You go Anna, Zen, Moira, whatever the case may be there. That's how you would generally want to address this. This is going to be really hard. You guys have pulled the actual support out from under your team here. Lucio Brig is easy mode. Lucio's value is adding speed for monkey. Should have flamed Lucio to swap to Brig, basically. Lucio Brig can be nice with a really clumped up team that's going against a dainty team. I mean, sort of. If we're playing like a super brawly comp against a dive comp that has no poke aspects to it, sure. It's a pretty narrow situation, though, because, like, again, your Brawl doesn't really want Lucio Brig. It's fine with the Lucio, but Brig isn't particularly great in Brawl. She's not. Like, yes, her Aura, her Inspire is good in Brawl, but she's actually best at her packs enable divers, and her Bash and Whip Shot disable divers on the opposing team. Brawl already isn't terribly worried about divers. You see how that works? So, like, it's not actually a great comp for her to be in. She's a bit of a special case as a hero. She might look like a brawler, but she's really not for that. Why Lucio is the best support on the roster? I know you're kidding, but he's okay. He's okay, and he's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. Lucio's a perfectly valid support, but he does need his niche. Every time I have Lucio on my team, I win. I can just AFK and win. Well, I mean, this is Plat, so the Lucios do have some idea at this point how to crossfade. They're not just going to constantly be on heals. That's because they had to rework her. They had to remake her, Semitic, yeah. Drop your shield, yep. Okay. Why are you backing away so hard? Keep your Inspire, like, keep up here. You're fine. You're fine up here. You don't need to back off this hard. Uh-oh. This is going to create an impossible healing situation for you. Okay, so you gotta ask yourself, what are we doing? Because you've just used all 3 packs here. And the first 2 packs, or the first 2 packs you used more than 2, but the previous packs were, hey, we're getting out of this fight, we're trying to get out, stabilize people, helping them get out, etc. But you just used your last pack on a Zarya that was at like 60% health. That sucks. You now have no packs to play with because you were trying to heal your Zarya. This isn't enough healing. 55 health per second, you're not doing enough total healing with this pack to be a tank healer. And we're getting back to the problem that you run into. When you get to optimizing Brig, it really is in most metas going to be significantly about I use my packs to enable my DPS who are being aggressive. So in this comp, that would primarily be Sombra when she's in there shooting them from from a flank, from behind them in the mix. You're sustaining her with a pack. Even if she hasn't taken damage, but she has people looking at her, trying to shoot at her, a pre-pack on her could be fine. Like, it is a double strength Harmony Orb that you're throwing on her to enable her, to let her be more willing, to let her stay in longer, to let her be more willing to take risks, to maybe get closer to stuff than she normally would. And same thing with your McCree. The pack is to enable him to maintain aggressive angles. To play in aggressive angles. Maybe to go away, hey, I'm going to flank through here, I flash there, Anna, and I get the pack from Brig, which lets this, be a stronger play because I've got this double strength Harmony Orb, and it's great. That's what you're looking to do, and then you're looking to protect your partner support. That's really your first job as Brig. Protect your partner support. Lucio doesn't need your protection. Lucio's first job is also to protect his partner support. This is a big part of the problem. Your primary jobs are to protect each other, and a support line doesn't need both people protecting each other that hard. It needs one person that protects the other pretty well and the other that brings a disproportionate amount of value and pays for it by being somewhat vulnerable. Zen, Anna, to a lesser degree Bap, etc. That's why Moira's weird. She's not as vulnerable as you'd normally expect for a flex support, but that she pays for that by not actually bringing that much value outside of pretty good heals. Uh, okay, so you don't have a partner support to pack. So your packs are already going to be lower value. So now your best packs are on McCree and Sombra, which I guess means you're going to have some extra packs because you don't have a partner support to pack. So maybe you can justify, and you're going to have to justify packing your tanks, but this gets really messy and bad. We don't want to be regularly packing tanks. When we have 3 packs, using the first pack to pack a tank, no problem. When the fight is totally simplified and it's just you and a tank, or just you and Lucio in a tank, and you go, hey, I'm going to spend my last pack to pack Hog because it's just the 2 of us or just the 3 of us, sure, whatever. But in the early and main stages of team fights, you're looking to use your packs on your partner support, not Lucio, or on DPS who are getting aggressive. And it would be priority-wise Sombra than McCree in most situations. If McCree is being way more aggressive, by all means give him packs. If these guys are taking damage, even if they're nursing 30 health, worth a pack. Even if it's your second pack, worth a pack on either of these. If they're missing 100 health, worth your 3rd pack. That would be totally fine. If it's your Anna, might be worth your 3rd pack even if she's missing 50 HP. Your tanks, you're pretty stingy on healing as Brig. You have to be. Most of the healing that you get on tanks from Brig comes from either, hey, they happen to get Inspire value because I'm consistently hitting whip shots, or it was my first pack and I used it just to get my cooldown running. Are you going to bleed a little bit into using second pack on them territory? Not 2 at once, but let one run and then 2 seconds later throw a second one at them? Yeah, you can do a bit of that. You don't want to double stack packs because they just increases the duration that your 55 healing per second lasts, and that's not the best thing in the world for you. You look at that and go, okay, but if they get burst down because they're at 100 HP and I throw 3 packs in them and they get eliminated from that 100 HP, I don't get refunded the other packs that I used. So this is how you want to think about it. Again, this doesn't fit very well. I'm going to judge you a little less harshly on your pack use because you don't have a support to use this on, so I'm going to be more forgiving of your pack use on tanks, but it's wrong. And I'm still going to point it out some. Okay. Okay, so let's jump. Oh, chat is going wild. Let's see what you guys have to say. People in my rank say that they don't have enough heal the moment they see Brig, even if we have a main healer like Anna. That's fine, Lion. They can be wrong. I'm not recognizing that this player... I'm not recommending that this player start listening to their team. Come on now. You think I'm going to do that? Everyone's teammates are fools. We knew that. We know that. I am telling them that they should listen to me because I know what I'm talking about and not intentionally swap into this support combination. If their partner is on Anna or Zen or whatever and they swap into Brig, no problem. I don't care if the team rages. But if their partner's on Lucio and they swap into Brig, they are creating an issue for their team. Not a perceived issue for their team, a real issue for their team. I don't care about perceived issues for the team, or I care less about them. You can play to avoid perceived issues for your team because it does help them win more. Unfortunately, you can do that, but we care about getting better at Overwatch, not winning the individual match over here. Is he positioning like an Anna as Brig? I don't think they'll stay here. She'll just flail and we'll be good, probably. High ground Brig doesn't make sense. It does. High ground Brig can absolutely make sense because you're up there protecting your partner support. Oh wait, minor problem. Other tank went up and went hog for self-healing. Yep, safe from the tracer up there, but there's no tracer in this game. See, it's working. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm good with that. That's your only pack that you're using there. And your Zarya, I get that your Zarya is low, but your Zarya is behind your hog. Your Zarya has the option to be less aggressive if they want. No. You're using your last pack on a full health Zarya. I do not want to pre-rolling. Like, you want the pack because the pack is an option. You go, hey, I spend my first pack cheaply, sure, but you want to hold on to this pack more tightly than you hold on to this pack over here. Hold on to your final pack more aggressively. Be like, no, I'm stingy with this. No, you don't deserve it. You're a tank. No, you don't deserve it. You've got full health. If you used your first pack on a full health McCree that was standing right here, no problem whatsoever. If you use your third pack on a full health Zarya, Okay, you gotta turn and shield faster. Yeah. Okay. What's your plan? Can you hit a whip shot to mess this up? No. Good. Oh no. Oh look, we spent our last pack meaninglessly. Whereas if we'd had the pack, we might have turned and looked over here and been like, let me throw this to my Sombra so my Sombra can literally stay in here and shoot the monkey and trade for ult charge favorably. Would your Sombra have realized they were packed and stayed in? Probably not, but that still would have been the higher level play. Okay, you're going to pack that immediately. You can't.
Let's get patched up.
Oh, you just double packed Belly Bacon. I don't care. Belly Bacon has a bubble. Belly Bacon has breather. Belly Bacon, like, no, we don't need to double pack him.
Rally to me.
Now he's popping breather. And now you're popping rally. I bet one of your packs isn't going to get full value. Between his doing breather, between, like, ugh, okay. Your inspire healing, like, yeah. Did you not have the confidence to hit that? You are silly invincible right now. Like, silly invincible. Silly invincible. Bash the Moira. Oh, you can't. I mean, I know the bubble's here, but, like, go. Get to it. Stay on her. Why are you letting her get away? It's there again. It's there. And if you miss it, so what? You still have 430 health in some of its armor. The McCree's not going to get you. And you're generating rally, like, go for it. Too late. Why? Okay. Why do you feel a need to stand here? Like, is an Anna standing right behind you that you need to protect from this self-destruct? What was wrong with going here like your teammates did? You had plenty of time to make this decision. And if you were going to go here, you needed to face these guys until the last instant when you turned and self-destruct. This wasn't going to move anymore. You knew where this was. You could have turned last second to protect yourself. Okay, except that she's still invisible. She's not being aggressive. She's retreating. Now she's like trying to turn around and get aggressive. Okay. Okay. You have Mercy Brig. This is an upgrade. Not an amazing one, but an upgrade. Why? You can pack the McCree, but it's going to be your last pack because you packed Zarya so heavily, which is unfortunate. I mean, you can if you want. If you want, you can walk up here with your shield and threaten a whip shot. Like, you could have not let this Winston in. It would be playing more aggressive than you'd usually play as Brig, but your guys' comp is a mess anyway, so. Okay. I knew that was coming. You still don't want to do that. Like, you still don't. Until you have that second pack back that you can justify spending one on the Zarya. Why are you in the middle of the lane? Please put your shield up. Please put your shield up. Please put your shield up. Why aren't you looking? Respect the McCree! You don't know that he's in there. Put your shield up and get over here. If your shield then takes like 100 damage, you might drop your shield, start to take some on health instead, and then put your shield back up and then get in here. But you don't have Inspire rolling. You should have your shield up right now. Do I consider Mercy a main healer? I don't really like getting into the main versus off healer discussion because what is more useful in Overwatch? I don't like having two different descriptors. We have main supports and flex supports. We don't need to also have, on a different scale, main healers and off healers. Like we don't need that because it creates this belief that like it creates a belief that you need an off healer and a main healer, and you don't. Zen Lucio was run for like a year and a half or whatever, and it was great. Would you run it now a ton? Probably not, because you can peel better for Zen with either a Mercy or a Brig than you can with a Lucio in most situations, but there was a time that this was run and it was totally fine. Or like, oh, then you get into the Zen Mercy question. Zen Mercy is one of the best support combinations in the game, and Zen definitely isn't a main healer. Is Mercy a main healer? Eh. And then you get into, okay, well, if Mercy is a main healer and that makes this legitimate, is running Anna Mercy wrong? They're both main healers. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but for ladder, it's perfectly viable, and that's because you have enough utility between damage boost and nades and sleep darts and res. Like, so I don't really like that. I much prefer the main support, flex support descriptor because that gets broken less often. Do you occasionally still break it? Do you have things like BAP who go, I'm a flex support that pretends to be a main support a fair amount of the time? Not a fair amount of the time, but often enough. Yeah, you do. But hey. So, do I consider Mercy a main support? I don't pretend to care whether Mercy is a main healer. I don't pretend to care whether Mercy is a main healer or not. Oh, blah. You're trying to trigger me. I see. Dive meta with Lucio Zen was when competitive Overwatch was at its peak. Don't at you. I'm going to at you to say you're absolutely right. On my level is rather you heal tanks, I heal DPS. Farah, I need SS to heal her. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Blah, tilting me. He's wrong. He knows he's wrong, but someone's going to come back and look at the chat and not know that. Okay, so now you've used 3 packs here. So you come out here. You just double packed your Zarya, including using your last pack for it. I mean, on the plus side, at least you know he's not going to get purpled because Nade is already out. And this immediately demands a pack, and it is correct that this demands a pack. You throw a pack at your Mercy when there's a nano Winston on her. 100% correct. But you should still have 1 pack left now, and you don't. And why? Why are we bashing to get over here? You cannot justify this. You might be thinking I'm bashing to get through the open because it's too dangerous to be in this open lane, which I agree. It is too dangerous to be in this open lane, but it sure would have been nice to bash this Moira instead of bashing across. And if I wanted to get over here, it was so I could bash and then whip shot away the monkey. And I can't do that if I don't have bash. And if I'm just going to do it with whip shot, well, I could do that from here. There's just not a good enough reason to use this bash for movement. Bash is no longer on a, 4-second silly whatever cooldown. It's on its 7-second cooldown. This is a real ability. You can still use it for movement sometimes. There's times when that's correct. This was not one of them. And you need to pack her again, but you can't. You're going to have to at least get Inspire going. Hit away the diva. Please hit away the diva. Okay. That's interesting. Bashing that diva wasn't terribly high value. You didn't cancel her boosters or her micro missile, and you already had Inspire going. So all you really got was a little bit of extra damage on her. That's not great. You really need your bashes to be shutting down dives that come in on these things or canceling ults. Canceling boosters, canceling micro missiles, occasionally canceling DM to synchronize around an ult coming out on your side can be worth it. You whip shotting away the Winston as he's leaping in before he puts down the bubble, or walking inside the bubble and whip shotting him out. That's what you're looking to do, and that's how you do such a good job of fighting divers, because you guys aren't allowed to have tanks. Your Winston comes in, and I whip shot him out of the air as he's coming in before he bubbles, or if I'm not sure if I can hit that, I wait till he bubbles and then get in there very quickly to get a whip shot off on him, because I'll be fine. He would beat me eventually, but I'll be fine lasting long enough with Inspire to find a way to get a whip shot off on him in his bubble. And the diva, again, working around the Winston bubble, and you have to do this, I'm going to bash on her as she's showing up to cancel her boosters, her micro missiles, whatever. And Winston's gone, diva's bashed, their dive is defanged. That's what you're looking to do as Brig. Okay. That bash was fine. Speaking of bashful movement. Okay.
Score 0.
I think he means Mercy typically heals DPS while other supports sustain the tanks. Yeah, that's sort of a way to think about it. Sort of. It's not perfect.
I will prove myself. Last minute check. Everyone squared away.
Wish I could have played Overwatch before Ana when Mercy was definitively not just a main healer, the main healer. Like, Mercy was the highest source of single healing in the game, and it was lower than it is today. Healing was lower. Like, the amount of healing in the game was significantly lower than it is today. Like, you have to remember, original support cast, you were looking at, okay, we have Lucio, we have Zen, and we have Mercy, and we have Sim, but we don't have Sim. And there were windows during the beta when Zen had 150 HP, so we don't really have Zen. So you definitively had to run these two, because Zen would die to Widow body shots. So, yeah. But we're long past those dark times of having to run that combination.
Facilities these days.
Wasn't she 60 HPS on release? Not even close. Not even close.
5.
We can look that up, but no.
4.
Does Diva's DM cooldown start as soon as she gets stunned or start as soon as the stun wears off? I'm almost positive it starts as soon as their DM ends, which is when she gets stunned.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Okay. So now you have a Mercy.
Spot the pain.
And again, I'm looking at this, and I would be perfectly happy for you to be back on Ana, for you to be on Zen. Either of those would be fine. You have 3 packs. If you can get one on your Winston, that's fine. Perfect. Don't love it. Don't love it. Okay. Fine. Beautiful. No. Less good. Your Winston was totally, totally safe. And now he's purple. Also less good. You're just throwing these packs out like it's going out of style. Stop it. When it comes to tanks, there's got to be either I have plenty of packs to spare, as in 3, or, hey, I'm going to feed these out to you one at a time because, you know, we need to, etc. And that second one is really, really something you'd be pretty light on doing, even then. Like, I wouldn't lean heavy towards that. It's, I have packs to spare, I'll give you one when it comes to tanks. Like, the overwhelming majority of the time. That's what you're looking at. You can feed them out like candy to your support if your support is in any trouble. You can use them on your DPS when they're being aggressive, or even to heal them up to get them back in. Sure, but if you use them like candy on your tanks, you won't be able to just heal up your Hanzo who's not being paid attention to, etc. Or who's getting aggressive. Okay.
Let me patch that up.
Okay. Why no shield up? Like, you do not like your shield very much. Okay.
Taking damage.
Fine. Okay. Is he really going to? Wow, okay. Good. Less good. You were going to end up spending 2 packs on him, but I'd have really preferred to delay the second pack for a moment in case he got burst down. Okay. Oh, you missed. Okay. Sure. Okay, good whip shot. I mean, you knew this was coming. You have all of your cooldowns.
I could use some assistance.
There's nothing wrong with Mercy Brig. You just need to be a lot better on Brig than this.
That was
It's not my favorite. It's better than the Lucio Mercy or the Lucio Brig combination. Please tell me who you're engaging on. Who were we engaging on with this rally? This fight was over, and you knew this fight was over. Like, yes, the opponent might have technically been alive, but you knew this fight was over when you popped this rally. And even if you didn't know the opposing health, like, it was a 3v1, your tanks were fine. This is not, I repeat, not what we want to be doing here. We don't rally to get a bunch of pre-armor anymore. That's not how we use rally. We don't go, oh, hey, I'm rallying, and we'll gather up a bunch of armor, and then we'll push in. That's not how you use rally anymore. You take advantage of rally's extreme armor generation speed to basically be healing you a stupid amount of health per second, really a stupid amount of armor per second, as you're in, as you're very close to being in. Like, you don't want to rally here. You could rally here as you walk on these guys. I could justify you rallying here as you walk on these guys. I could justify you already fighting these guys and rallying. You can't rally out here. They can kite it. And they should kite it. They can afford to give up some cart space. You just used more than half of your rally to get to the fight.
Payload is on its way.
And then you bash for movement. Good cleave. Why was he allowed to get out?
You should sit
Okay.
this one out.
Whip shot him out of his literally whip shot him out of his heal station. What? Why? Whip shot him into the wall. Okay. What really makes it go faster? The bash, the bash. Okay. You have 3 packs, but someone just said that they need support. I bet your Hanzo would love a pack.
Good as
Turn and
new.
give your Hanzo a pack. Turn and give your Hanzo a pack. Makes me unhappy.
Taking damage.
Good. Now can you put your shield up and get in here? This is what you really want control of, but okay.
I'm on fire! Everyone follow me!
Yeah, I'm not sure why you like just to be swinging your flail around so often rather than having your shield up as Brig. Like, there's numerous sleep darts, chunks of damage that take you out like this that you would have not gone down to or not been slept by or not been purpled in this match alone. I don't think there was a purple, actually, but there's a sleep dart that would have not happened. There's damage in multiple situations that would have not happened. And it's not like you well, anyway, doesn't matter.
Keep this moving!
Back to the drawing board.
Because the internet said to keep swinging his Brig and not to shield.
Forgot some news.
Okay. Not sure why you whip-shotted him away. Like, it wasn't going to be enough to finish him. Okay. Great. And now he's gone. Back off. Leave. Leave. Unfortunate miss. Can you please angle? Okay, you're going to back all the way out. Fine. Why are you shielding against a Winston? You're just giving him shield to zap. He hurts both of you. Like, he hurts your shield and your health. Don't shield if it's just a Winston.
Get in there.
She has no resources. She can't be accused of misusing resources. Fair. Need to work on that a little. Come on. That's too many missed whip shots against a Winston. Like, hitting Winstons with whip shots is, like, one of your primary roles as Brig. Like, yes, you in general want to be between fights and poke faces, keep just hitting a whip shot, you know, every 6 seconds or so to keep your inspire up so that you're not just getting completely outvalued in the poke phase, so that you're not a good poke hero, but you can reduce how hard you're losing the poke phase by keeping your inspire rolling with whip shot. But, like, those are sort of your main uses. Your main uses for whip shot is I don't want to get completely outclassed in the poke phase, and I want to deny Winston leaps into my team. I want to knock away Winstons. From there, we get into I'm using whip shot to finish people off. I'm using whip shot to knock people off the edge. I'm using whip shot to keep people locked in a place by knocking them into a wall so that they can't get out. Like, those are all secondary compared to the first 2 uses. So you gotta be able to hit your Winston or hit the opposing Winston consistently with your whip shot.
Shield taken down. Rally to me.
Okay. That, you should have known that was gonna be a bubble issue. You just wasted your
Forgot
bash.
some news.
Okay. Great. Not a fan of that at all, that repair pack. Not in love with that one either. If you just let yourself walk for another half second, you could have actually bashed onto the Ana instead of just using it for movements. I mean, it's style points if you hit them with a headshot with the whip shot. It's not good, but it's style points. Why? Why are you using bash for movement so much? Oh, the Moira wasn't listening, wasn't looking at you. It's not like you needed to get to her sooner to activate Inspire or to any.
Can't take much more.
Back up. Heads up.
Okay.
Easy.
So now we're getting micro. You actually did want to whip shot him here because your whip shot is going to send him back into this and trap him here again. That's what I was talking about with boops to trap people with whip shots. And he just gave you a second shot by not making that jump. You had a second shot to whip shot him into here and just completely have him lose the fight. Now he's got a chance to get away.
Easy.
Okay. Maybe he wouldn't have completely lost the fight because Korea would have gotten you anyways, but still.
The battle continues. Thanks, Angela.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Angela. Full mate.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Get on now. Rally to me.
The lever? Yeah. Still don't like that repair pack on your Winston. Oh my goodness! The double repair pack on your Winston who already has a ton of rally armor. Okay, but now you don't have your whip shot to, or your bash to get out, so what's your plan? Like, your rally is over, you didn't have your bash to get out. Are you gonna walk at that Moira to scare her? You walk at this Moira, she's gonna get scared and run, because she knows you can bash her. Instead, you're walking into a place with your ally and her allies, which means she can get a ton of value out of this. Are you using this to bait her in? No. That was not a good plan.
60 seconds.
Try. Just try to shut down some of these coalescences with bash. That's all you need.
That wasn't the plan.
Well, she did, except that bash was on 2 seconds from cooldown. By the time she could have gotten to Moira, it would have been back. And yes, Moira was going to kite again, but still. Moira kiting again means Moira's not doing anything, or is doing less other productive things.
30
Like
seconds
zapping
remaining.
Winston +2 of her allies.
I got
I think you're doing this to tilt me. I know you're not, but you go for that. Why? Why? Why do you have such a strong need to be in this fight right now? Why do you have such a strong fight to be in this fight a third of a second earlier so that you're willing to spend your 7-second bash cooldown? If you walk at the Winston and you're able to actually hit him with the bash, it might happen to cancel his leap as he's trying to leave and actually get you the elimination. If you just use your bash to get to him a moment earlier, congrats, you'll get to hit him with your flail once or twice. Who cares? Who cares? Excuse me? Do you think fighting Ryan is a good idea? Hint, it's not for Brig.
My servants never die.
Okay. Fine, and you're gonna whip shot. Oh, you don't have it anymore. Okay. So you're gonna bash that. No. You're gonna do none of the above. No, you don't bash to get to him. You have to actually bash him. Just a whip shot again. Get the mega.
Rally to me.
Rally. Okay. You gonna bash her? Thank you! Awesome. Hey, you guys got the checkpoint with 5 people. Nice job. Why? Please walk me through why this feels like a good idea. Like, it might feel like a good idea because it fulfills your need to be in the fight that much faster, so you feel like you get to do stuff more. But please stop it. That's a 7-second cooldown. Like, that's a big deal. If you can walk close enough to this Moira to actually stun her, she might be weak enough by the time that you get her that the stun is actually enough, is the difference between eliminating her or not. If you try to bash to get to her, you're just not going to eliminate her. It's not happening.
Did someone call for me?
Stay out for it.
You need to poop them out of melee range so you can shield bash to advance again. Oh.
More best this small. Shield holding.
60 seconds remaining.
Okay, no, you don't get to spin both like that. Good, you got the bash. You know the crease there. What's your plan? Oh boy. I don't know about this.
It's time.
I knew that was coming.
Best of luck.
Okay. What do you, why? Okay.
Team kill. 30 seconds remaining.
This is not the end of the world.
I require healing. The dragon.
Justice reigns from above.
10 seconds remaining.
Feeling better? Will.
Overtime.
So, not that it matters. He's jumping at you, so you right click to bring up your shield, and now you bash. You'll meet each other and you'll cancel his jump on you. You can read his forward momentum and bash into him. You don't need to let him land on you first. Okay. Okay, that's clearly the end of that. You'll learn your calcs. I don't mind that she went for the early bash, even though it might mean she can fade away. I do mind that you whip-shotted her before she went away. She's a 200 health hero. It's not like she regained a ton of health while fighting you. You learned these better. Your whip-shot has to be the finisher if you're going to use it like this. Otherwise, you create a range issue for you. And now you put your shield up and walk at her so that she stops getting health off of you. Shield up.
Shield's taking damage.
Walk at her. Why are you backing up? Oh, because of overtime. Fine.
It's time.
Sorry, I'm a little out of it. Okay. So, things that we're going to go over. Obviously, we've gone over plenty here, but things that we're sort of going to put as our takeaways for this is I can live with this. I don't like it, but I can live with this. But please don't swap into Brig when you have a Lucio. Like, it's not effective enough. You need a support that brings more power than that. You're effectively playing the peel support. When you're Brig, and it's just not enough to pair with another peel support, which is Lucio, to a lesser degree, Mercy. So, like, it really is hard to make work. You don't have enough ability to heal your tanks, and not having enough ability to heal your tanks is okay if you're bringing enough other value. Like, if you were running Brig plus Zen, that would be fine. You wouldn't have very good ability to heal your tanks either, but Zen is bringing that Discord Orb, and that really is enough. You need less total healing in the fight when you have a Discord Orb, because you're ending fights that much faster. And you might think, oh, but Temporal, you need less healing in the fight when their divers are shut down, etc., etc. I mean, that's true, but not enough. Discord Orb is that good. Okay. So the first thing really is you picked her when you shouldn't have. Anna was the better pick. If you needed to tell your Lucio, hey, I need better support, I need better peel, I need someone to actually peel for me, and that's your job before it's the rest of our team's job, that's fine. If you needed to ask him to swap to another support so you could peel for him instead because he refused to do that job, that's also fine. Okay, getting into your actual Brig play. The repair packs are going to be the biggest change. Like, the repair packs are going to be your biggest, easiest change to make. Like, The biggest, easiest change where you go, hey, I'm willing to spend my first repair pack on tanks. I'm even willing to spend it pre-healing a tank like a Winston that's jumping in or something. That's fine. I do not want to spend my last repair pack on a tank in the overwhelming amount of situations. The opportunity cost of not being able to heal my partner support, who isn't going to be a Lucio, isn't going to be a Mercy, but is going to be someone more vulnerable, is too high to not having this. And even the opportunity cost of not being able to sustain my Genji that's in there, trying like wild to finish off that Zen, is too high. Yes, this is how Brig is played. This is how Brig is played. This is how you use your repair packs. It's so much easier once you understand that, though it might not necessarily be easier in this comp, but that's because she shouldn't be played with this comp. Okay, so that's the first thing. Change up these repair packs. This is just a mental change. It's not terribly hard to implement. It's not like oh, I need to mechanically get better at this, or it shouldn't be a super, super hard habit to break. Maybe you have a habit of you see pluses on people and you just instantly feel the need to heal them. I don't, because, what do I care about them? They're other players, whatever. Who cares about them? But seriously, you want to be, hey, I'm using this. I'm happy to use the first pack to pre-heal a tank that's going in. But with my other packs, those are reserved for my 200 HP heroes, preferably for my DPS, preferably for my partner support when they're in trouble, or for my DPS when they're actually getting aggressive. Like, it is hard to get me to use this third pack just to heal up a random DPS. I will use this on a DPS when they're being aggressive, or I will use this on my partner support pretty much whenever. This one is more of a, hey, my McCree needs some healing, let me throw him a pack, whatever. And obviously this one we talked about could be used like that. And this first one could be used for either of these lesser things too. It's less of a big deal if you're using it on a tank. Okay. Second thing I'm going to get to, it's tough, but I am going to tell you to please get rid of some of the Shield Bash movement. You do way too much Shield Bash movement. Shield Bash is a really good ability, but people absolutely recognize when you don't have it. People absolutely track when you do not have Shield Bash, and you're using it way too often to get to a place where you can hit someone with a flail once or twice. If you're just going to try to hit someone with a flail once or twice, you're really just proccing Inspire, and that's what Whip Shot is for. If you miss your Inspire, you're going to have to maybe try to find a way to walk up to them, swing at them once, and then get back out. We don't care about Brig's damage on the front line. We only care about her ability to get Inspire and then get out. And really, we'd prefer to do that with Whip Shot in most situations. Sometimes we'll go, I missed my Whip Shot. We're just not going to get Inspire until I have another Whip Shot because it's too dangerous to go in there. She can flail at people in her backline, Winston's, Genji's, Tracers. That's fine. She can swing her weapon. But we're not looking to use our Bash for movement nearly as often as you are. We like our Bash to get stuns or to be there as the threat of a stun. It shuts down a diva that's coming in. It makes a Tracer play much more scared, even if we don't actually use it. Like, we do try to use it to get the stun on a Tracer, a Genji, a diva that's come in. We could try to use it to stop a Winston from leaving. That has a lot of value. Like, these are real uses of Bash. Will you sometimes use your Bash for movement? Absolutely. You're coming back from spawn, you want to Bash once to try and catch up because you're not going to get punished for that? Sure. It's not going to be much of an advantage, but it's going to happen. Are you sometimes in combat going to go, I have to Bash for movement to get through this scary open place to get back into cover? Yeah, you are. Sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes Bash for movement is the right answer. You're doing it way, way, way too often. So get rid of this. Like, try to completely remove Bash from movement except for returning from spawn from your repertoire, and then we'll slowly add it back in. That's how I want you to do this. But for the first thing, work on understanding when to play her and work on getting these repair packs done. Those will get you the most bang for your buck. After that, we have to get rid of the bad Bash movement before we can hone in on the good Bash stuff. Because good Bash movement is not a very common, not a super common thing. Good Bash stuns, however, are common, and you don't have them when you use it for movement. Okay, if people have questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join the Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay. Winston BM, what am I missing here? Brig whipping Moira, is there a subreddit for that? Sounds improper. Cart's the other way. Go to the card in overtime. Plat, Brig. Uh, this is an interesting VOD. Temporal actually critiques based on comp. Yeah, I try not to do a ton of that, but Brig kind of demands it more so than others. You'd run into the same thing if you saw a comp that was like, hey, we have Lucio plus Moira, and then we have like Echo plus Pharah. And it's like, come on, what are your DPS supposed to do? Like, what are they supposed to do? So like, I'm not strictly opposed to criticizing comp. Usually, I mean, if you watch me coach organized play, I criticize comps all the time. But when it comes to, hey, Brig is not one of the heroes that I recommend trying to learn to one trick. Most heroes, totally fine. The overwhelming majority of heroes, you want to try to learn them by one tricking them, totally good. I would not generally recommend people try to learn Brig as the only hero that they're playing. I would recommend that they have someone else in their kit. Maybe it's Mercy, maybe it's Bap, maybe it's Anna, Zen. I don't really care, but maybe it's Lucio. I don't really care, but she's not one that I would recommend trying to one trick because of how specialized her role is. She's a powerful hero, but she's specialized in a very niche role. Can you one trick her and be fine? Yeah. If someone tells me no, I'm one tricking her, that's fine. I'll coach them how to use her better. And if they say I'm one tricking her into, even if my partner's Lucio, I'm one tricking her, that's fine with me. That really is fine with me. But that's not what this player was saying. This player had questions going into it about, hey, my team said that they were unhappy and I think they were wrong, etc. So in this case, no, your team wasn't wrong. I mean, maybe they were wrong for their reasons, but they somehow broken clock twice right, etc. Lucio would have won it for them, though. Lucio, Zen, Bap, Anna, Moira, the better supports. Order to partner with Mercy to win this. Don't you dare, blah. Don't you dare. Mental changes are hard. Yeah, yeah. Great review, Temporal. I'll greatly expand my Anna from this. Good night, everyone. Good night, Semitic. Great review. I think Temporal spent all day looking for a fun one. I actually just haven't been feeling terribly well last night and today, blah. That's all that's going on there. I wanted to make sure I had the mental faculties. I did some other off-air coaching earlier this morning that is not going to turn into a YouTube video just because it was private coaching. But I mostly haven't been feeling terribly up to it. That's Brig discrimination. She's like a funky screwdriver. She can open your Xbox, but useless for anything else. Okay. That's going to do it. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.